The third and final episode for our Conjuring trilogy is a film of possession in our justice system. This is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It from 2021. I am Eric Lewis, and this is Spoop. How's it going, everybody? As always, I am Eric Lewis, and this is Spoop. We are on to the latest Conjuring film, and I personally have enjoyed watching through these films again. I sure hope you have as well. Since I have you here, go ahead, rate my podcast on Spotify. Let people know what you think about it. But anyway, our last episode took place in 1977 in Enfield, England. This story takes place in 1981, so 4 years later. If you haven't listened to last week's episode on The Conjuring 2, you definitely need to go do it because I think it's pretty good. I might be a little biased, but it's pretty good to me. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It was released on June 4th, 2021, and it was a little less of a success than the previous two films, but really that is not shocking for the third film in a series. It's really not shocking at all. The budget was $39 million, which is actually $1 million less than The Conjuring 2 in 2016. The overall takeaway was $431,056, which is less than the previous two films, but definitely not by much. As much as people love to hate this movie, it was still very much a success. I don't care what you tell me. Very much a success still. The director for this film is not James Wan this time. It is Michael Chavez. He directed The Maiden from 2016 and also two other films that's a part of the Conjuring universe. The Curse of La Llorona in 2019 and also The Nun 2 from 2023. What do you think of the Conjuring universe films? Should I do a series on those as well? Let me know on Facebook, Instagram, and email me at horrorspoop@gmail.com. The writing goes to David Leslie Johnson. The writing goes to David Leslie Johnson Goldrick, who wrote for The Orphan in 2009, also for Red Riding Hood from 2011, and lastly, he wrote for Aquaman from 2018. James Wan may not have directed this, but he is a writer for the film, so apparently he cannot completely give up on his vision. Go and listen to other episodes that I've done about James Wan to learn more about what he has done. The summary for this film sounds like this. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take one of the most sensational cases of their careers after a cop stumbles upon a dazed and bloodied young man walking down the road. Accused of murder, the suspect claims demonic possession as his defense, forcing the Warrens into a supernatural inquiry, unlike anything they've seen before. The summary is brought to you by Manny Rethnam. Become like Manny and send in your summary, and I might use it on this podcast. Now, moving on to the cast of people that make the story more than just writing. Now, we all know the two people that are starring in each of these films. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are Ed and Lorraine Warren. And to learn more, I have a Conjuring episode that I did in 2021. And also, I talked about them briefly in the audio commentary of the first Conjuring. So go and check that out if you are interested. The next is the man who is under the influence of the devil. His name is Arnie Johnson, but he is played by Rory O'Connor. He does a really good job. I was very impressed by his performance, and you can find Rory in stuff like The Morning Show that you can find on Apple TV, The Postcard Killings from 2020, and The Spanish Princess that is on Stars, and he was on that from 2019 to 2020. Next, we have his girlfriend who sticks with him through thick and thin. Debbie Glatzel is her name in the film, and Sarah Catherine Hook is her real name. And you can find her in stuff like First Kill, which is a Netflix series, American Crime Story Impeachment from 2016, and also Motherland that you can find on Hulu. That is 3 shows that you can watch right after you listen to this episode, and I've heard they are pretty dang good. Up after Debbie is her brother, who has some trouble for himself at the beginning of this film, Julian Hilliard, who plays David Glatzel. You can find Julian in stuff like Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness from 2022, WandaVision from 2021, that is on Disney Plus, so go watch it, and also one of my favorite series from Mike Flanagan, The Haunting of Hill House from 2018. This kid is freaking rocks as an actor, so go and make sure to check him out and everything he does. Next up is Father Kastner, and he's the retired priest in the film. He also is the one with chicken shit on his hands. He is played by John Noble, and you can find him on stuff like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King from 2003, Running Scared from 2006, and also he's on Cowboy Bebop that you can find on Netflix that was released in 2021. After that is his bitch of a daughter. The character is simply the occultist, and the person who plays it is Eugenie Bondurant. You can find her in releases like The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2 from 2015, Fear of Rain from 2021, as well as Werewolf at Night from 2022. You can watch that on Disney Plus, and I actually think that looks pretty good, but I have not watched it yet. Let me know if I should. Go check out those releases, and please support the people that I just mentioned because they're all pretty good at what they do. Now, next up, this is how I feel about it.